tweet. This is from Jordan, who says, LBJ, who averaged 29, 8, and 7 in his 20th season, is supposedly not a top 10 current player. Skip has been waiting for this day like a kid at Christmas.
Yeah, but then you got a gift that was taken away from you because it didn't work.
Really?
No, it didn't work.
You snatched my gift?
Think about it.
Really?
That dude just explained to you 29, 8, and 7. The dude is 60 years old, and he was cooking before he got hurt and still was cooking after the fact.
I think I just shredded.
Oh, God.
Go, Sherm.
I mean, I don't know what else he could have done. You give those stats to most people, that'd be their best season ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Next, this is from Brian, who says, Yo, Keyshawn, now I know why you backed Dak with the game he recently had, LOL. We see Keyshawn in metallic blue 19. You know what? You're not.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're an ex-Cowboy who has objectivity about the Cowboys.
Absolutely.
In fact, you have just a smidgen of Cowboy hate in you. Just a touch.
No, I don't get all delusional about teams that I played for. I'm a realist when it comes to certain stuff.
Right. And this one's for Richard. Richard Sherman is me when I'm at work and two people are arguing over something that I already gave them the answer to.
I mean, you see the pinky up?
Yeah,
I'm sophisticated, too.
Yeah, we just having a conversation, man. Ain't no arguing. It's just conversation. Light conversation.
Okay.
Fun, spirited.
The Athletic poked a little fun at itself with the headline, Let's Overreact. Cowboys are the
Let's
best
overreact,
in the league.
Shall we?
Yes, in this week's power ranking, the Athletic has the Cowboys 1 and the 49ers 2. Richard, is this a knee-jerk one-game overreaction?
Yeah, I mean, it's a total overreaction, but at least they prepared you for it. They said it early. Skip, they said it's an overreaction because they know that the best team in the National Football League currently is the San Francisco 49ers. And, I mean, they did everything they could to show you that the other day, both offensively and defensively, and going out to Pittsburgh, playing a really solid Pittsburgh team, and Mike Tomlin, and going out there and having their way. T.J. Watt had a Defensive Player of the Year type day, but it wasn't enough to help his team. I mean, we got clips. Run my clips for me, please.
Because clips.
They will show. Yeah, come on now. They will show what a team looks like when they're the #1 team. It's a judge of how great a player isn't what he can do when he got the ball. It's the players around him and
Garrett
what
Wilson
they do when
should
they
watch
don't have
this
the
film.
ball. And you see how they're fighting to get Christian McCaffrey in the end zone.
See how to block
they
as a
wanted that
receiver.
man in the end zone as bad as he wanted to be in the end zone. That's a team that's playing for one another, that trusts one another, that wants to see themselves be successful and doing everything they can. Defensively, they got lockdown defenders. They got pressure on the quarterback. Charvarius Ward, who never gets enough credit. Give me a book. Everybody blocking for him. Big-time playmakers on the defensive side. Lockdown corners, pressure on the inside, all-pro linebackers. Now, can we get a linebacker that can cover? Because the best linebacker in the National Football League, All-Pro Fred, he can cover too. And then when he covers, then All-Pro Tyler Noah Hufanga gonna get the ball, and he gonna say, "Let's have a little fun out here. Let's pitch it and go."
That play was crazy. They got an extra 20 yards.
This is the National Football League. Skip, they got no pressure. This is the best defense in football, and they just out there having a good time. They're having a good time. Let's pitch it. Let's play in the backyard. Let's have a good time. And that's what they're doing, and I appreciate them. I appreciate watching them. They're at an away game in Pittsburgh, pitching the ball up by however much, Skip.
Okay, and I should have pointed out Richard did play for the 49ers.
Yeah, he did go to the Super Bowl with the Niners. But Richard's right, though. When you look at the body of work in 1 week, I would say that the 49ers are slightly above the Dallas Cowboys because they did travel all the way from San Francisco to Pittsburgh, okay, and go into that
the Cowboys
house
are from Dallas, Texas to New York.
At the beginning of the year, they would come out with hair on fire. That didn't happen. The defense shut them down.
I give you that.
The offensive side of the ball, Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, Ayuk and company, they lit it up on the offensive side of the ball. It just looks different than what we saw Dallas do on both sides of the ball against the Giants. But doesn't mean that we won't see something different against the Jets. It doesn't mean that. It just means that for week 1, I'm saying it and prefacing it this way.
Okay.
For week 1, San Francisco is a better football team than the Dallas Cowboys if you're really going off of that.
Okay.
That defense really did something special to Pittsburgh. The Giants offensively, they were already undermatched going into the game. We did not know what Pittsburgh was going to be. We propped Pittsburgh up.
Yeah.
And San Francisco went in and took them to the woodshed.
Okay, but
yeah, I listened to way too many people tell me that Mike Tomlin was the most winningest
and we burned down
coach
the
for the
woodshed
12th straight time.
Okay, but I'm just
the most
saying
profitable
that team won a
coach the
playoff
last 2
game
decades.
last year.
I
okay?
understand.
And a lot of people thought they were going to be even better than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
A Minnesota Viking team that Cooper Rush went into Minnesota and hung 50 on them. The same team.
Okay. I'm going to give both of you that the 49ers are a little better on offense because of that quarterback and because of that play caller. I have the highest regard. Richard knows him very well. I'm also going to give you George Kittle over any tight end in my tight end room because I got 4, which means I effectively don't have 1. But to your point, I'm going to piggyback off Keyshawn Johnson's wisdom from earlier in the show. Brock Purdy has been phenomenal for a little while, and it's still a little while.
Yes.
Brock Purdy, I watched a whole lot more at Iowa State than I've even seen him now in pro football. And trust me, he started when he was a freshman at Iowa State, and I saw him play some stinkers because they weren't as good as the 49ers, obviously.
Understood.
The point is, I just swallowed a gnat.
Oh, God, don't tell me that.
You guys are tricking me now. You got gnats on me. That's the only way you can beat me. Okay. The point is, to your point, watch. Brock Purdy's going to have a bad game. At some point, it happens to everybody.
But he may not have a bad game, though, Skip. My whole point is, when I say this, I say the team defensively is their strength.
Sure it is.
The defense may have a bad stinker here or there. Richard was on an all-time defense. They had bad games. They had bad games.
I can't really remember
I played on one of the all-time defenses, and I watched the bus in Pittsburgh come in there and take us to the woodshed. Okay. So it happens.
Okay,
you're not going to win them all.
Just watch Brock Purdy. Look at his QBR through all the games he's won. It's 68, scale of 0 to 100. Trust me, it's off the charts. He'll have some bad game. Let's see how he responds. Let's see how he rebounds. Let's see if he picks himself up.
Remember, we're only talking about this past week.
Okay.
We're reacting to this ranking based on 1 week.
Okay. But Richard will concur with this. Stephon Gilmore is a difference maker for my team, and we stole him from Indianapolis for a 5th-round pick.
Yes.
And the day it happened, I sat here just beating the table saying, that's it. That's the missing link. That's the final piece of the puzzle. We had nobody at the other corner. We had a parade of nobodies, and everybody went at the nobodies all last year. You can't do it anymore because Stephon Gilmore the other night had 3 pass breakups and a pick. And Richard knows him. He's playing more with his head maybe than his body at this point, but he is top 5 to me. And he and Diggs as a tandem, I think they're the 2 best corners in the league.
So are you arguing, or not arguing, are you trying to communicate with me and Richard to say that the Cowboys defense is better than the Niners?
It's just a little better because Micah
I agree
is
with
a
that.
little
I do
more
think
explosive as a game
Cowboys have a
wrecker
better
than
defense.
Nick Bosa. What do you call him?
Nicholas
John Bosa.
Nicholas John Bosa. Okay.
So this is what I would say.
Little more explosive. Little more game
this poll, this ranking isn't saying about the defense. They're talking about the team.
Okay, I got it. But I've told you from the start, my team will go as far as my defense carries my team.
Yeah, but so that means that the same thing for the 49ers. The 49ers are going to go as far
and
as
I
the
just
Cowboys.
said my defense is a little bit better because I got a 3-headed monster at safety. They're all 3 really good. Go ahead, Richard.
I hear you, Skip, but I want real facts. I keep hearing opinions. I remember Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons was outstanding last year, but disappeared January and December. I think he had 1.5 sacks.
Well, you mean December and January?
January and December.
Hey, you mean December and January because January comes after
December through January. I know. Right. You know what I meant. You know what I meant. But what I'm saying is, at that point, that's money time. You always talk about playoff football. Playoff football is where your bread is buttered.
Okay.
Hey, playoff football is where you got to eat. And so Nicholas John Bosa. Yeah. You just said Nicholas John Bosa. Defensive Player of the Year. He showed up in those playoffs. He showed up in December and January. That's why he won Defensive Player of the Year. He showed up. He showed up off the streets last week.
Richard.
He showed up off the streets last week. You can't do that, Skip. This is the league.
My pass rush is deeper than your pass rush because all of a sudden it's DeMarcus Lawrence and Dorrance Armstrong and Dante Fowler and Odigizua, and I can go on and on. They come from everywhere. sparked by the double and triple teams that 11 from heaven draws. And then if I flip around to the other side, Brandon Cooks is going to change life for CeeDee Lamb because he can run by people. And he